Okay, welcome to another episode of Biohacking Beauty Podcast. This is Amitai Eshel,
Anastasia Kodraeva.
co-founders of Yangu Skincare, the world's first longevity skincare brand, even though now every skincare brand, apparently, skincare brand, different story.
But we were the first.
But we are the first. Anyway, this podcast aims to take all of the
Fluff.
all the fluff,
All the noise.
all the big words that are from the scientific world of longevity, and put them in a blender and serve you a beautiful smoothie
Yeah, we
of information.
We sieve it. We give you like this extract.
Yeah,
We break it down.
yeah,
And
longevity science extract. Anyway,
yeah, so today is actually going to be a part 2 to our conversation with
part 2 to our second interview.
To our conversation with Anastasia Beauty Fascia. And we had her on the podcast a while back where we did the foundational kind of podcast where we talked about her method called Beauty Fascia. And it's all about lymphatics, fascia release. And then we brought her back for most burning questions and Q&A and myth busting. And we went on for a long time. And now you get second part of that conversation.
Yeah. To those who don't know, Anastasia Beauty Fascia is I think the number one person in the world really to speak with as far as how can we change the structure of our face using only our hands, using only massage techniques. Of course, she was,
And if you want a vote of confidence, Huberman, the great Huberman, featured her on his podcast and his resources.
As we said, from humans to Hubermans. That's
yes,
what we call it.
Yes, so she has built one of the fastest growing communities in the beauty space around the one core idea that the path to a younger looking face doesn't start with a needle or a treatment room. You can do it at your home, looking in the mirror, touching your face, and applying all the principles that you can learn by listening to a conversation.
Yeah. And now,
without further ado,
please welcome again for the second time, Anastasia
Beauty Fascia.
Let's go. So now, we're gonna go less ancient, and I'm going. One of the things that were the first. I remember the first time I was on a big podcast. Shout out to Ben Greenfield, and I gave my opinion about tightening devices, wave-based tightening devices. And I like to keep it broad because there are so many. There is Morpheus 8, microneedling radio frequency, there are ultrasound, all therapy, whatever. There is a new one called XERF, XERF. And all of those devices, really the promise of those devices is hey, we are going to replace plastic surgery. Doctors can tell whatever story they want, but that's why the client or the patient comes to them, is to avoid or stave off plastic surgery. And basically now the FDA agrees with me, but for a while it was a very controversial take that, hey, you're creating damage to your inner layers, you're creating damage to your fascia, you're creating fibrosis, etc. First of all, I want to hear your opinion, and second, what is your experience with people who come to you and said, hey, I tried to know this, and that, now I'm going to do a program. How does it look differently as far as like how their skin responds, how they experience the treatment, like what's going on there as far as like your experience with people like that?
It depends on the practitioner that they had, because some people come with bad stories of, again, that gout skin that they depuffed. They almost say that it's sagging, like, oh, I lost fat. And you got fibrosis, and because of this, because of scarring, no, you got what you wanted. Basically, when I say that, so have you ever seen the egg? Have you ever broken a not boiled egg? It looks so small. It looks like it looks like. Have you ever boiled the egg? Boiled, boom, plump. So we are boiling the egg.
Uh-huh.
So you get in that plumpness, you get in, but it's boiled, it's done. There is no chicken coming up. So it's it. There is the time is over. But the good thing that again, different practitioner doing like on a different level. I also believe that the body is still trying to recover. That's their way of recovering. The problem is that they say that you promoting a collagen type A, right? That you are not. You're promoting scarring. You're
Uh-huh.
promoting the collagen that is like he's crazy. You're promoting a crazy collagen that doesn't stop. Doesn't stop.
Uh-huh.
Have you like it's like a granny that does this and then she just goes crazy just to fix that hole, like not like nice, like soft. She's just like, oh, I need to close the hole. But because of this effect of boiled egg, you see the difference, you see the inflammation, you see the change. So you are happy. The same like with the filler at the beginning, you are happy. You're happy, but your tissue is not happy. It depends what is your age, what is the tension of your muscle, how does your skin is in general, is it thicker on a thicker level, is it on a smaller level? What are you doing with your jaw? Is it a compromise? This is how it's going to age, or this is how procedure going to age. Are you gonna have a gout skin, or you almost will not feel it because it will be so underneath that you are not bothering to check that. But has to be a question why it has to be repeated, the procedure. Like this is like I always ask people like why if they found the solution, why we have to come back? Like, right? If we found the solution, if we found the reason, why you can't you just fix it so I don't see you anymore? Because it's not up to you, it's up to me. Even if I go and fix all of my teeth and say, dentist, I don't want to see you anymore, fix it all, and we'll be like, well, it depends how you're going to use it, right? Yeah, if we talk about the surgeries, why there is a revision of the surgeries, not always because of the first bad job, but because things get old. Whether you do the surgery, whether you do the machine, whether you don't do anything, that's all going to age. God help us. At least we know when we don't do anything. At least we know how it's going to happen. What's going to happen? But the new thing we don't know. The new thing is there was, as you said, the last machine. I haven't even studied that last machine. Like I haven't seen that last machine. Again, any machine, you are making a damage and you are asking your skin, please fix it. I have a company and I know everybody's busy. And if one day I often have some crazy idea and we all have to just drop everything and do my crazy idea to save the world, my research, we're all researching about this, some people cannot drop their job. Some people still need to get me their customer emails and things like this. So is your body is right now in this business, like maybe you have some chronic diseases. Are you crazy? Like you're going and you're asking for extra. Right now, your body is like keeping you barely alive. I'm exaggerating, but I want people to understand that they need to go there like a superheroes that like, damage me. Those people with 8 abs, hit me. This is exactly. And usually people not hit me come. Usually people, I'm heated. I tried filler didn't work. I'm too scared to do the surgery because it's like do this in between. This is not
It's a
a hey.
shortcut that they're looking for. And then shortcuts, that's what it seems to end up with, that you're taking a risk. And it's very unfortunate because a lot of these devices have kind of like false results, very skewed data. And like you said, they promote type A collagen, and then, they give you fibrosis instead. But I think since FDA kind of like issued warning to radio frequency microneedling, people are a little bit more waking up to the truth and just my algorithm shows us also people that suffered burns. Of course, it was a malpractice in that case, like they didn't use the correct setting or whatnot. But there is also something to consider, like you're going and you trust your face to someone. Like, is it worth the risk? Like, are you, like, it's not just about getting or not getting what you paid for in terms of results and the correct collagen. It's also the risk. Like, what's the risk of you doing your facial massage versus like at home, and doing it well or not, to actually burning your skin with something
Oh,
very hot,
I actually don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think trusting your face with someone you do anyway. Even like when people buy our products, they trust our face. When people do Anastasia's course, they trust Anastasia.
But still, like the moisturizer that they're gonna get from us, even if they, I don't know,
Wait, we're working on stuff. No, I'm kidding.
misused it, they're not gonna get third-degree burn.
That's correct.
That's
That's
gonna
correct.
stay on
But
their face for the rest of their life.
what I'm trying to say is that what I'm trying to say is this. They go to a medical doctor. They go to a dermatologist, and these dermatologists. I think it's important to understand that these dermatologists, in the grand scheme of things, they need to be trusted. They've studied a lot, but the data they're getting about those devices is really, 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 really biased. That's kind of what you alluded to as well. It's data. The only studies that's ever been done are by the companies that sell the devices, which in skin health is the only place in the market
industries.
that it's not only accepted, it's expected. It's a show of power. Hey, I could pay hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to tell you a story. Right now, there's a company that did it. Candela, they just did it with a laser. They invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to claim that their laser causes reduction of biological age. That's a show of power. It has very little to do with results, and that's what also convinced these doctors. These doctors are They first of all are going to make money off of it, so there is a bias there. They're just like everyone. There's money involved. There is bias, and the second thing,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But I have used
And do you know
not
the
always the doctor that does
practitioners?
the procedure.
Go
Do
ahead.
you guys know the system? Like the system, how they learn? Like usually there is a
They go to like a
there is a
master class. They go to extend education, but then it's like a few
but
days
but
and you learn the
the
protocol.
extended education looks like usually that the person that presenting that not is like not the creator by no means, the seller, the person that sells you device. You get
Yeah.
in a 4 to 6 hours of introduction of that device, plus another 2-4 hours on probably practicing on the device. Person that purchased that device, it's not you, it's the owner of the clinic. She knows the stuff, she was sold. And she got money to pay. So you are
Yeah, to pay
tomorrow
back the
after
investment.
this,
Yeah.
you are promoting this, and you're doing your first client. But do not tell her she's first, because nobody likes to be a guinea pig. But you are not getting sent to Switzerland or Italy to the manufacturer, to the medicine. It's a very simple, the same as like people who doing Botox and fillers. You think in this white coat, yeah, amazing, of 2 to 3 years of getting through the nursing school. Oh my God, I respect that. But then 8 hours of Botox, 8 hours of eight Botox and fillers at the same time, and you can take people. So how fast? I'm taking like 5,000, 10,000, like, and you understand. So 8 hours, you probably cannot pronounce facial muscles correctly within the first 8 hours of your introduction to them. Not because you
Especially
are
if you also have Botox, you would have a hard time
But
pronouncing.
that's exactly what we're saying. The risk of being mistreated because the person is miseducated or just got this device
it's not
and has no
enough.
idea.
It's not enough meat.
And I'll give
They
you
don't
another.
have.
I'll give you another something within that relationship. It more connects to what you said, which is true, because we meet, quite frankly, In the last couple of years, because there are sales teams that we have, etc., we meet less of the business owners, right? But we have a lot of experience of meeting business owners. And statistically, most kind of beauty medical devices, lasers and, aesthetic tightening devices, etc., actually the doctors, they do not recoup their investment. The majority of devices, what happens is this: your practice, when it's full, you're booked, only has a certain amount of, 10%, 15, 20% of people who are willing to pay and can pay $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 for a series of treatments.
Yeah, it's not once.
Exactly. It's never once. And you are going to sell those people the story that, by the way, that works for the owner, right? You're going to sell them the story of the results they're going to get from this device. And once you've ran through those people, that's your money. That's your money, because after, the promise, they're going to come to the end of those series of treatments, and they are going to compare their results to the results that they saw in the before and after photos. And they're going to say something to the extent, well, I understand that it wasn't 100% success rate. I am not one of those people that it works for them. What else do you have, basically?
Absolutely. And they will have the answer.
If they are like that. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do? You need to buy another device with a different story. So most of the time, the older device did not even pay for itself, or you are using it now with a discount. Blah, blah. At the end of the day, the clinic is in a cycle which they need to repay and make money. And the client is in a cycle where they're convinced that there is a device out there for them, and they hope that Kim Kardashian found it for them, right? Like that whatever worked on her is going to work on you. So it's a crazy loop, and at the end of the day, they're all based on, stories on 22 people that they've studied for, one set of treatments. They looked at a very curated set of measurements, and with that, they tell a story. And most of the time, they tell one story about measurements, another about before and afters, and you're hooked in this loop. So it's a very difficult environment, both for provider and for consumer. We are stopping this for a special announcement.
Yeah, we're going to read a listener review. And the reason we're doing that is because we really value you guys taking the moment, writing a review. They make our day, they make our week, they help us understand what information do you consume best, most, what do you like, but also they really help this podcast to grow. And today we're going to read Elian the Olive review. Always get something out of every podcast. Also invested in the products and happy to support the company and their research. Customer service, always very helpful. Thank you so much. And if this is your review, please send us a DM on Instagram or email service@yangus.com.
Or both.
Or both. We will send you a free product. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for taking a moment to leave this review. And
now,
let's go back to the conversation with Anastasia Beauty Fascia. Okay, I agree.
Yes.
I want to, since we're already talking about in-office treatments, there are so many that become so normalized and so popularized. So let's get through some of them. You touched slightly on fillers, and this is the modality that a lot of people still, swear by and get and do, and others started to question. So before someone goes in to make their decision about getting fillers or not, what do you want them to know? What do you want them to consider?
Well,
first of all,
it's
stop
not
the car.
Don't
Yeah.
start the car. Well, first, of course, it's a professional if you're already determined, but you need to understand that hyaluronic acid that they tell you that they're going to put back, the ones that you missing, purisita, like the one that you lost because you dared to leave,
Mhm.
and that's not true. You're not
Mhm.
losing hyaluronic acid, and they are not the same. So
Mhm.
hyaluronic acid is a molecule attracts water, so it's like a sponge. The question is, the water is not coming unless the blood is not coming. So first,
Mhm.
you're going to put the filler. Everything will be as a war zone. You're gonna have that inflammation. You're gonna look like, oh my god, my tear through has disappeared because the
Mhm.
inflammation is there. Then
Yeah.
in a while, after a confused body will recognize what is it, he will start trying to put the gates. So we either it's going to be the gates as fibrosis, or either the gates as a capsule, some crazy
Mhm.
stuff, right? Like
Mhm.
or it will be the gates just you got lucky and your gates is just blocked lymphatic channels.
Mhm.
Nothing extra, just there, like if you think about the traffic, just those, the no way anymore, no
Mhm.
way. It says that's it.
Mhm.
They're building there. So how
Because the
lucky got
story,
you?
the story, the practitioner itself is that your body eliminates it, but you're saying no, 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 no. It actually builds a gate around it, and it does not eliminate.
I tell you what,
Well,
the
it's different
practitioner,
variation.
the
Variation
practitioner,
of the gates.
yeah, the companies, well, they tell a story of a functioning road remodeling in Vermont or something like that. They work, 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 and then everything is okay. The reality, it's like in Miami. Once the road work starts, it never stops. You're never going to get that lane again.
So we have
Exactly.
so we have
You know,
this you were saying, so we can get the capsule around it. We can get the gate
fibrosis,
where the
adhesions.
Yeah,
fibrosis adhesions. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a lot to consider. And then what happens with all those things? Like, what is the effect on the body, on the
Well, the
skin?
the effect is edema. Edema is a stagnation, and with edema and stagnation, the effect on the skin, creation of toxic environment, effect on the skin. You have a different architecture,
Mhm.
depending again where they place your filler. Did they put it at the periosteum? Then you're lucky because again the area around that cells. How to say, less crazy. If they put it somewhere near the fat, the cells are there. Wow, wow, wow. You're going to be rock and roll. If you, like, I don't know, drink 2 glasses of wine, or maybe eat some salty,
Mhm.
next morning we might not recognize you, because of the presence of the old fillers. And right
Yeah.
now the doctors say they go away, but I think MRI has shown that it doesn't go away. And
Mhm.
like honestly, when people say something and we're going to put it and the body is going to go away, and I'm asking 2 questions. So
Mhm.
I'm putting something that's going to I want to illuminate. That's
Mhm.
weird concepts, right?
Mhm.
Like I want to put something that I want to stick to me, right? Like a good
Mhm.
stuff, like genuinely just think about it, like just natural good things, you want to keep it, right? So you're
Mhm.
already getting something with idea, oh, but don't worry, it's gonna get away. And you're like,
Mhm.
aren't you the point that we live together and die happily
Mhm.
after? Like,
Yeah.
why is going away? Yeah. Secondly, how is going away? You are
Mhm.
saying that my body, I'm also taking one of the, again, that metaphor employees, and I'm saying you are no longer my designer, you are cleaner.
Mhm.
Clean it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm.
I've never done this. Are you sure? But who's gonna go do design? I don't care. Clean it. They said that you have 2 years. Good luck.
Yeah.
Who is cleaning it? And
Mhm.
whatever who is cleaning it, probably if I go somewhere again to the airport and my body sees the virus or bacteria, maybe the one who is cleaning it will be too busy to see another one. I'm trying to very simplify it, but again, I'm just saying the whole idea of cleaning of the toxin or illuminating, it's also a process that your body doesn't appreciate. Right? Like,
Doesn't
why are you
appreciate it. It's
giving
foreign. It's foreign. That's the
foreign?
problem with those.
Exactly.
That's the
So
problem. By the way, this applies also to biostimulators. This is a new discussion in the world, which is what you're talking about is what is called like cross-linked hyaluronic acid. It means that the hyaluronic acid, they're connected to each other, which doesn't exist in the body.
And it kind of becomes gelatinous after all.
Yeah.
That's what they're finding out that.
But there is also a new kind of, which is non-cross-linked hyaluronic acid, which is basically the only thing it's supposed to do is indeed stimulate the inflammation. Indeed, like we talked about, with radiofrequency devices.
Increase the effect that you see is swelling.
But it's the same thing. You're creating inflammation, you're creating chaos, you're creating damage. It's like you're basically introducing something to the body that is foreign, and the body doesn't really know how to deal with it. As you said, someone can listen. If someone kind of entered the chat now, the conversation now, they might say, that's not how it works. Like, the immune cells are not going to be the ones that are treating. First of all, they will be. But
not.
But the reality is the body doesn't have the right employee to remove it. The body didn't evolve. There were no injectors in the caves, right? It wasn't like they hunted a buffalo and then injected you. It didn't, so, yeah.
Absolutely. And in terms of, because I do get that immunology, different things, they always, try. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that when you get sick, your face doesn't change?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Oh, it does. In fact, it changes almost first thing. And it changes size, it changes, I'm not talking about epithelium cells that are here and no, it is indeed, okay, then let's look at this point. From when you're gonna have a problems, there is a person that have a problems with the no foreigner in the face, and there's problems that has a problem with the foreigner in the face. I don't know. They will look different. They will look different. Again, that stagnation, that toxicity. But I also think it's important to say that it's not a death threat. Like unless you put in a vascular, yes. So some people do have to do it due to traumas, due to the surgeries, due to the loss of tissue for whatever the reason. There is still application for it. There is still application for this. I wouldn't demonize it completely, but I would use it as an application. That means that you understand the risk and don't do it on your face. Like literally they use it in a different areas, like don't just understand the risk and understand what do you want. You want 1 year of no tear through or 70 years of the zone that you control. Because as you said, one thing is like they create an inflammation, but the most important point, they trying to tell you that it's controlled inflammation, that they know what's happening, that they know exactly how the war is going, that they are, we know, but they don't know you. No, they don't know you. They don't know your tissue. Like they don't know. And now all of these girls, they already come in with like a list of hyaluronic acid before, and then they with all of this, and they forget what they did already because we start too early. This is a mess. Nobody knows your history. Nobody knows your history. Nobody can predict, and nobody is going to take a responsibility. Like that's another thing. Take the responsibility. If you go in there, as you say, as a surgeon also can have a bad day. A lot of people, there's some situation like a big loss of fat when you need to take care of the skin when the person is already 70. Like she's not gonna wait 10 years until the skin is tightened. But like yes, the surgeon can be amazing, but maybe exactly this day he didn't sleep well because his neighbors did the restoration. Yes,
Uh-huh.
exactly. Damn it, you waited it for your whole life and he just didn't sleep well. And the nervous system, and this is such a delicate thing, and your result is a little lower. Like, this is because it's not up to you. It's not up
Uh-huh.
to you.
Yeah.
It's a very and we are all humans. And as I think you have said, yes, you can't make that big of the mistake with the skincare or that big of a mistake with the face massage unless you put the skincare like in your eyes, right? Like some acid. Yeah,
Yeah.
Massage your
and a
eyeball.
finger in your
Mhm.
eyeball.
Yeah.
In theory, like let's not
Yeah.
challenge our listeners.
Yeah.
Like, but yes,
Mhm.
yes. It's of
Mhm.
course at least it's controlled by you. That's all. It gives you some type of comfort at least, right?
Since we started talking about women doing these modalities and men younger and younger, there's one more kind of like alarming trend, which is called preventative Botox. So I know plenty of people that started doing Botox in their 20s and their 30s. It's again popularized, normalized. Um, what are your take on this?
I think it is again. What are we doing? We are paralyzing the muscle in order of the sake of not having the lines. But it's not only things that is happening. Our muscle is the only thing that move lymphatic and circulation. When you paralyze it, the circulation is compromised. If you've been paralyzing it as like when you don't even see the wrinkles, it doesn't make sense. It's like saying, "Oh my God, I'm so scared of the lung cancer. Let's remove one just in case, because otherwise, then I will have just one."
Wow,
How the concept is.
that's a very bright image. That's a very
Yeah,
bright
no, but like
analogy. Yeah.
overall, like I like
Mhm.
metaphors because you understand
Mhm.
the whole concept that like, are we really celebrating the fact that we paralyzed something in our body?
Mhm.
Like really, we are
Mhm.
celebrating this. We looks like it's the least resort. No, looks like
Yeah.
we need to use it when our brain cannot, when we cannot control that, right?
Mhm.
So my question, yeah, you can't control your forehead, but again, you would if you're one of those people, wouldn't you ask yourself why is it happening? It's genetic. No, it's not genetic. Not genetics move your forehead. Your nerves are moving your forehead. Sit down and calm down with me. Like no, but
Yeah.
I've seen so many excuses. I've thought the coldest people in the world that I call the doctors, and I'm like, yeah, really? Okay, let's go.
Mhm.
Let's try this. If you're that sure it's your genetics, no, it's
Mhm.
not, because it's a tonus in your frontal. It's a tonus in your muscle. It's an action in your
Mhm.
frontal lobe. Something is happening. So if you don't wanna, if you just this again, I don't think there's anybody who doing Botox for fun. They're just out of fear that there would be too late. This is what they sell in them.
Mhm.
That like, oh my God, the wrinkle comes. There is
Yeah.
nothing. The wrinkle, that's it. It's like so permanent. And the fact that our like skin updates ourselves, we lose like nobody even mentions that. Yeah, there's
Mhm.
different type of wrinkles. If something is settling in, it will stay, but there is a dehydrational wrinkles. There is the wrinkles of, you just been on the sun for a day. Relax that muscle. Don't run. Don't run. The whole idea of paralyzation and relaxation. We are working. We are next to
Yeah.
each other. Like paralyzing is a little bit too much. Relaxing is good, right?
Mhm.
Circulation concept plus a concept. It's a toxin. In the best way. In the best way. If you
Mhm.
would be the person that whole world depends on, in the best way, in order for us human to survive as an evolution, your body in 20 times needs to know how to stop the toxin. If it
Mhm.
doesn't know how to stop the toxin, first of all, I hope you are not the only person that, because then it means that your body doesn't evolve, right? Like, no,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's why then they switching the toxins, they trying to confuse. So you telling me again, you had one employee that was looking for the vaccine from Botox all these 20
Mhm.
times. Like, okay, man, like, good
Mhm.
for you, like, think about it, right? Like, you
Mhm.
have one employee who can have been doing something different, that was looking for the vaccine, that was
Mhm.
looking how to get rid of this bad stuff It's not healthy. Is it healthy? I don't think it's healthy.
Mhm.
Do you see that the Botox is where we stop? Never, right? Because the couple
Mhm.
lines, it's never a problem. Yeah, Botox doesn't lift your jawline completely. I'm sorry, if your neck is like this,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do platisma Botox.
Mhm.
No, no. The Platisma Botox that
Mhm.
she was selling you, it was a skinny lady that just needed a little bit, like just a little bit to show you. No, you have already gland lowered. No, 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 no. You need to open the real passes, relax real muscles,
Mhm.
just removing tension of your Platisma that are also acting like a drainage, pumping your vessels,
Mhm.
right? Because it literally helps your veins,
Mhm.
because veins don't move themselves. The same thing
Mhm.
forehead. The forehead uh, um, vein is under the muscle. So if
Mhm.
muscle doesn't move, the vein is
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
awesome. I don't need to do anything like
Yeah.
vacation. But vacation
Mhm.
for vein, it means that the bad stuff didn't come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where
So.
it's gonna go? It's gonna go, and not let me start with the whole idea of how face moves. And when you block one area, the rest of the area will be moving, right?
Mhm.
If you continuously blocking you're gonna it's
Uh-huh.
the
Other
harmony of
muscles
the
will
face.
compensate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a compensation, and also $50,000 per lifetime type of
Mhm.
bill.
Yeah. No,
So
for sure.
I think a lot
And
of I think it is
mhm.
not worth it, especially
Yeah.
preventative.
So I got your
Mm.
stance on that, and I agree with you. We
And if
also.
you already do it, you need to do a lot more,
Yeah.
again, manual work in order to compensate for that. Because I think exactly what you said about fillers, I'm sorry to
Mhm.
cut you.
Mhm.
I think it's a very limited thing to say. It's like, hey, we decree, we are the gods of what's healthy and what's not, and we will tell you never to do it. Okay, listen, we have a lot of people that are doing Botox, and if that's what they choose in order to feel complete and whatever, go ahead
Mhm.
and do that. I think a couple rules is try to stretch it. Like a complete paralysis is not the best look in the world. Okay, like
Mhm.
try to stretch it as much as you can. We met this lovely lady that she's like a really big trendsetter in plastic surgery, and she said I do Botox once every 14 months. Great, fantastic. If that's what you want to do Botox, try to stretch it as much as possible. That's number one.
Mhm.
And number two, you need to understand exactly like we said about everything else, is that you need to, it doesn't mean with like red light therapy, like any other thing that we said, it doesn't mean you now need to do less work. It means you need to do more work. You need to now, compensate for everything that you're not doing naturally with a face movement.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
if you did already stretch it like 14 months before you go and get your next Botox appointment, you ideally want to do a really good manual drainage, to drain all the lymphatic fluid and to try to detoxify. But also, I know the question that I asked you was about preventative Botox, and now we switched to talk about women that do it later in life, in
Yeah.
their 40s, 50s, 60s. And again, if you do that and you approach it in a more holistic way, you understand that Botox alone and paralyzing muscles alone will not make you magically look younger. Like the youthful look comes from many different aspects of how you look. And as long as, yeah, like Amita said, you compensate for other things and you approach it mindfully, maybe for some it will work that way.
Yeah.
Okay, now next question that we wanted to ask is actually about sun exposure and SPF. So these conversations in the wellness industry and biohacking, where we kind of niche,
Where we live.
where we live, it's been actually a debate because we know a lot of people that anti SPF and pro sun exposure, but again, not leading the witness here. where do
Yeah,
you
don't make
land?
me biased.
I want to make a shirt anti SPF club.
Yeah, because we are pro SPF. But where do you land on getting sun, protecting the skin, and not becoming obsessive in either direction? Because the debate comes from people that like either just always wear full cover, not
What's the
letting
name of
an
the actress that you like? That she wore
Anne
the
Hathaway. But Anne Hathaway, for
Mhm,
example, she wears like a whole body
mhm,
suit.
mhm, mhm.
But she is very pale. And then there are people that are like, I'm just gonna suntan all day long
yeah.
because sun is my friend, and this is how we evolved. So
Even
this
though
is
you
the
have
debate.
even though you have Norwegian Norse
Yeah.
genes
They're
and
they're trying to they're connecting things to like tribes. They're like when we're looking at tribes and tribal living, the people live in the
Oh,
sun. So again,
yeah, there's.
so this is the debate. Where do you land? What do you do
Uh,
when it comes to sun? You live in Florida.
Yes, there is a different sun. First of all, like, yeah, I live in Florida. I am under the hottest sun. For somebody that is living somewhere not at that area, this advice might sound a little bit too extreme. But the sun is different, and the morning, the sunrise. Yeah, sun
Mhm.
exposure and sunset. Sun exposure is different. It's
Mhm.
different strengths, it's different the way our skin takes it. There are different skins, right? Some people get tan, some people don't get tan, some people get red. Why everybody was okay before? Well, the environmental factors were different. The sun was
Mhm.
different, the protection of the, we can go into that, but yeah,
Mhm.
no. There, clear is clear. Yeah, we all also woke up earlier, right? So
Mhm.
early morning sun exposure.
Mhm.
Good. Get your eyes there. Get your unprotected. Go have fun. Go
Mhm.
ground. Go lay.
Mhm.
Go do anything. But from 10, unfortunately, due to our plastic, due to the way we treated this planet, from 10 to and about 5 in the places like Florida, in the places where it's clear, sunny, you need to protect yourself. This, brownish effect, it's the same effect of brownish the cooking
Mhm.
that you cook, right? Like the it's not a happy color of the skin. And that's number one. Number two, melasma and all of those pigments that are going to happen on the face. Protection. Of course, mineral always an option if you are very worried about the um, um, chemistry entering your blood flow, and if you're
Mhm.
very aware of things like this, then mineral is an option. But you should do, if you don't believe in skin cancer, if you think it's just that the sunscreen creators made those gossips.
Mhm. Yeah.
We're gonna take you. We're gonna take you. We're gonna create another podcast where we're gonna see all skin cancers at
Mhm.
areas of the face and how people look after. And this is a moment when you need the hyaluronic acid after,
Mhm.
yeah.
to
Yeah.
live a normal life.
Reconstruct
So
for
yeah,
reconstructive
so
surgery.
for exactly. So it's real. It's
Mhm.
here. It's not. And protection of the skin in terms of the body skin. Yes, we should be
Mhm.
wearing. We should not be exposing at certain times. Again, at certain
Mhm.
times because of at certain points of the planet. At certain times, the sun is too rough right now.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
and or we are too soft.
Mhm.
This is another
Mhm.
thing that maybe our skin was open to other things genetically before,
Mhm.
when we were tribes, when the weather was different,
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
the skin also probably was different, right? So,
Yeah.
and
No, but
right now with all of our uh obsession of exfoliation,
Mhm.
of the face, exfoliation when you do the taping, exfoliation if you do the any procedures, right? Like, oh my
Mhm.
god, Like, at least for the
Mhm.
sake of that, if you ever use
Yeah.
something with the acid and it's a summer, which is May, June, July, August, don't ask me question, put your sunscreen, okay? Like,
Yeah.
are you putting, I'm putting, you putting, and as I said to some person who took my class and who is a very strong believer about the sunscreen, I said, you are breaking 30-40% of the result. Like, and
Mhm.
after that, like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, first of all, you're exposing your skin. Secondly, you're not protecting. So the wrinkle is like this. It needs to get solved by there, but also by their protection, because if you're not protecting, doesn't have time to repair the
Mhm.
actual skin. So it is true. I'm
Yeah.
definitely pro sunscreen.
And you
Absolutely.
mentioned also that our environment has changed, and not only that, now we have more ozone holes, right? And the sun index is stronger, and the sun is more damaging. We also, like, for example, right now I'm sitting indoors and I'm wearing our BioShield SPF 40 because I'm protecting my skin from the screen that I'm looking at, from fluorescent lighting above me. So consumers now can also be smarter and look for sunscreens that don't only protect from the sun rays, UVA, UVB, but also from blue light, from pollution. Pollution is now indoors too. You can be indoors in office all day thinking you don't need sunscreen, but you have fluorescent lighting, you look at the screen,
Absolutely.
and you have the most polluted air in your office, unfortunately, because they didn't invest in UV
Yeah.
filters. And all of that will bombard your skin, which wasn't the case for our great grandmas. And they didn't need sunscreen because they didn't live that lifestyle that we created for ourselves.
Well,
Uh,
not only this lifestyle, but we also one of the only animals that created a cage for them and start living in it.
mm, yeah.
And the cage with a bad light, and and put in a UV there.
Well,
Just
Yeah.
so.
just to give you another perspective,
Mm,
though,
mhm.
we weren't stingy. We made cages for ourselves, but also for animals. So I mean, like, we're
Yeah,
Yeah.
we took
Yeah.
but we
Okay.
live by example. So we are
Okay.
different. We are different. Those people
yeah.
didn't think about it,
So
right?
Mhm. Okay. Since we're wrapping up, and it was such an
Yes.
exciting conversation, I think the last question we wanted to ask you personally, since you, with your method, with your platform, with constant content that you put out, you are really challenging the beauty narrative, as many people could learn today from today's conversation and from our first conversation. So where do you want this movement to go? Like the movement that you are creating, the message that you put out, like, and I guess for the women that maybe listen to our conversation and want to kind of understand a little bit more of your mindset, like what do you want women to start questioning? It's kind of a loaded question, but
That she cannot do anything besides skincare. That
Mhm,
nothing is affects the way you age except
mhm,
skincare, some nutrition, the way you sleep, blah blah blah. That's like the way I sleep, the way I sleep. Like how I'm gonna sleep like only if I put my feet, on the ceiling. Like what? How different do I have to sleep to age differently? Like
mhm,
that. That's a
yeah,
question that a lot of people ask.
mhm,
So I want to give the power back. I want to say that you literally, the power is in your hands. We've been
mhm,
misled by saying that massage, that is classic massage that cosmetologist does, doesn't change the structure of the face. That's true. That's true. But the
mhm,
massage and the structural exercises and a correct approach and a correct levels with correct systems approach as the unity approach by levels does change the structures that your skin sits on, does change the fluid dynamic. And we do have a research that shows that the consistent pressure activates fibroblasts. Fibroblasts are the cells that create hyaluronic acid,
mhm,
collagen,
mhm,
elastin, extracellular matrix, like those are our guys, right? And we know that we can make them work, make them they even stop those aging genes for 2-3 days after the pressure. It's a research, it's been already, that's
Wow.
it, that's yeah, you know, mechanical pressure is transforming to the biochemical signal. Yeah, that's massage, the whole concept of the correct massage. But they did a 3 study. They put a light massage, the cosmetologist offered, the one that says, "Oh, do not touch the skin, you're gonna stretch it." Oh my God, crazy. You know, my grandma never touched it and she was great. I love that. You know, like, can I see the picture?
Yeah.
You know, like, how great, how great was that? You know, and they put light touch, they put no touch, and they put consistent pressure. And they did it, and they also checked what type of, is the type A collagen was created by those fibroblasts. And they did created new collagen. They they activated for 3-4 days. So it wasn't like they became old again afterwards. But this is true. So for people who don't believe in terms of the science is not there, science is there. For people who don't believe that it's going to do something to the collagen, it will do something to the collagen. And for the people who just understands that our stress and our whatever imperfections, a whole industry are basing on masking it. Our stress was not solved with pills. Our stress was not solved with talking, right? So there is something in our tissue that holding it. Call it tonus of the tissue. Call it adhesions. Call it hypoxia. Yeah, there is no oxygen. You can't think. Whatever. Call it whatever. But please, let's start saying that the quality of the tissue does affect your life. Not only quality of your food, not only quality of your air, but also quality of your tissue. People thought, well, it's my neck. It's always been hurting. It's changing. It's changing. You can change it. So let's create that quality. It's possible to create quality with the hand, with our work and our hands and our awareness. So this is what I want. I want to people to live with idea of that they have so many opportunities and there is something to be done about anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
I love
Amazing.
that. I love that. And I
So,
think women need to hear that
yeah.
for sure.
So let's talk a little bit to those who are listening. Obviously, everything is going to be in the show notes, but how do people follow you? How do they get more information? Where do they start the course?
Yes, I had launched New Glow. This is an updated version of new method, included new techniques, updated version of the glow. Everybody loves New Glow, and definitely they see
I'm
the
excited to try it
difference.
next because I tried the glow and I loved it.
It's
So I'm gonna be trying the new glow. I'm excited.
you're gonna, yes, New Glow takes care of everything for you, starting from your vasculature, finishing with your tissue, with your structure, with your bones, with your eyes, lots of breathing, lots of pressure techniques. All of this you can enroll on the last weekend of the month. We just started the enrollment. So the next enrollment will be in just a couple of weeks. It's perfect time to start following me and doing like 10 minutes massage video, or I sometimes send, tell me eyes and I send you some long tutorial. Do this to get motivated to start seeing the result, because as I agree, wherever you decide to go, whether it's going to be just a skincare, whether it's going to be a red light, whether it's going to be surgery, whether it's going to be Botox, you better do it with a better structure and supportive skin, right? So definitely this something like a skill that you need to learn in order for the health of your tissue of the face and brain. And as a on a meanwhile, this all creates a lifting effect. And full transformation, but you need to transform here in order the face permanently transforms. So I'm very excited for everybody to try New Glow. And understand that this is a part of the hygiene. Like for me, as a self-care
Yeah.
hygiene, as attention hygiene, as the emotional hygiene, right? There some people do different things. And you say, well, she chose it like this. No, it's not just because it's my job, but because our facial muscles are connected to our brain. And you can relax by meditating, by breathing, but it literally relaxes your brain when you touch your facial muscles. Paradox, but it is. So even for the sake of finding a calmness and introduction to yourself, to your face, very important, and very sweet and very, oh my God, you've been showing this face to each of the person that you've met, but your hands never met your face. Oh my God, how exciting. How exciting. And you're gonna, like, you can't hide it. It's gonna be with you anyway. So you guys better know the language of each other. That's my
Love it.
concept.
I love it.
Methodology.
I love it, and
Thank you,
I
guys.
love the conversation today. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank
for
you so much,
the
Anastasia.
passion that you put
Thank
into
you,
your
guys.
work and then caring for women. And I hope we will have you again.
Yeah.
We will
Yes.
stay in touch. There's so much more we can talk about, endless topics. But
I agree.
bye for now, and
Yes,
thank you so
bye-bye.
much.
And thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.